All right, mic check, 1 2 1 2. Happy Saturday night, everybody. Hope you're staying cool and out of the heat. Just making sure the audio works okay before we get started. Yeah, looks like it is sounding okay. Let me know if the audio levels fluctuate during this live, everybody. But otherwise, yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to comment down below. If you have questions about, of course, this heat, any chance at rain in the forecast, there are a few storms out north tonight, but they're not going to make it anywhere near San Antonio. Unfortunately, we could use it. It would cool us off and definitely help with things overall. But right now it is quiet and it is mostly dry on this Saturday night, midway through June, everybody. And keep in mind, next Wednesday is the first day of summer, which, by the way, I need to add the 7-day forecast, which we'll do in just a bit. Oh no, George. Hi, Ryan. Hi, Max. Hey there. Good evening. Yeah, it was good sounding okay. Diane, hello from Lacoste. Johnny, good evening. George, your AC stopped working. That is not good. Get that fixed, man. Yeah. If you can, get some box fans, anything to keep cool, because it is hot, especially if you have no AC or if it stops working briefly. That can be very difficult, especially in this kind of heat wave we're in right now. Okay, so let's talk about the forecast. Before we get there, CPS Energy, issued a yellow day, which just means conserve your energy. It's past the time, so we're good there. But tomorrow, likely another yellow day, which means between the hours of 2 p.m. and 7 p.m., do your best to conserve energy. Do the laundry outside of the peak heating of the day in the morning or the late night. Do the dishes in the morning or the late night after 8 p.m. preferably. That definitely helps a little bit with the energy that we're conserving here in San Antonio. 94 at the airport, 95 at Stinson. It is hot, it is humid. Now, look at the relative humidity. It doesn't look bad. It's at 52%, but that's only because of the spread between the air temperature and the dew point. What you really want to look at when we're referencing the humidity is the dew point temperature. If that's ever above 70, it's tropical. If it's near 80, that's extremely unbearably humid. But we're at 74 right now, which is very muggy. It's very humid. It's very tropical right now. And then when you factor in the air temperature at 94, 95, it is going to be a hot evening ahead, and things don't cool down likely until like 10 or 11 o'clock. And even at that, we'll still be in the upper 80s here in the area. All right, good evening from Victoria, Mr. John Olson. Good evening, sir. Carmen, good evening. Please rain. Yeah, I know, George. We're hoping for some rain. We're crossing our fingers. We want it. We need it. And a lot of folks are always asking, especially these last couple of days, with the air quality. Now, it's been so hazy. If you've noticed, every single day it's been hot, it's been sunny, but it's almost cloudy outside. And there have been clouds, but there has been, low levels of ozone, low levels of, most importantly, smoke in the atmosphere. And it's because of wildfires in the valley, more importantly, wildfires and agricultural burning in Mexico. They're burning sugarcane this time of year. And what happens is all that smoke, if you look at the NASA website, you can actually see it perfectly. There's so many fires being burned in southern Mexico, and a lot of that drifts farther north because of the Gulf of Mexico, the winds coming from the south, and it almost transports it right overhead over South Texas and pretty much across the state. And that's what's led to kind of the hazy skies, the milky color in the atmosphere. It's not so much cloud cover, it's really the hazy, poor air quality that the smoke kind of moves into our atmosphere, and that's resulting in bad air quality here in San Antonio. Okay, so going forward, now we had a heat advisory and an excessive heat warning for areas across the region earlier today. Those have expired. Now we have another one that will go into effect tomorrow. So the ones you're seeing on the map, including San Antonio and up by 35, those are heat warnings between 1 p.m. and 8 p.m. tomorrow night. Meaning they're not in effect right now. We're starting to cool off slowly, but surely. But tomorrow, between 1 o'clock and 8 o'clock is the dangerous window of air temperatures and heat index values. When you're in the pink shade, or if in general, and especially in our area in South Central Texas, San Antonio, when you're in an excessive heat warning, when you're inside that kind of warning, that means forecast heat indices or heat index values will be upwards of 113 to 115 at times. I think the range is like 110 to 115. But regardless, hot and extremely humid. Now, if you're in the orange shade, hill country areas out west, I can actually pull up the numbers right now. It says till 8 p.m. tomorrow, and then likely another one will be issued on Monday. So we'll probably see the same map tomorrow and Monday as well, just because of this heat wave. It's not loosening its grip at all. But anyway, so for the orange shades, for the hill country, Medina County, Uvalde, Val Verde County, Del Rio, heat index values up to 115 for Kinney and Val Verde counties, 112 elsewhere. Now for San Antonio, very similar, but dangerously hot conditions with heat index values up to 120 at times. So that's the big difference between, especially in our area. If you're in a heat advisory, it's hot, but an excessive heat warning, it's even hotter. So regardless, bottom line, it's going to be hot tomorrow, and we have nothing to really cool us off. Now, with that being said, there is rain out there, just not near us, out in northern Mexico towards Del Rio and west of Eagle Pass. There are a few storms trying to last a trip towards the Rio Grande, towards Maverick County and towards Del Rio and Highway 277, but they're going to have a hard time doing so. But if you are lucky enough, especially Del Rio and Eagle Pass, you probably have the best chance at rain tonight and overnight into early Sunday. But most of it will fall apart by the time it makes it anywhere near I-35 or even San Antonio. And in addition to that, we have some storms that are really losing strength out near Sonora, southeast of Big Lake. And remember, these storms are primarily driven by the heating of the day. So all this hot air rushing up, hot air rising, plus so much humidity, it's really daytime heat and summer-like conditions that help produce these isolated scattered thunderstorms in the June, July, and August timeframe, driven again by daytime heat and not so much, upper-level waves or upper-level disturbances. And but you can see it's really active out between San Angelo, Abilene, where they're experiencing pretty good thunderstorms, which is great for them, right? I mean, they're in pretty bad drought. I think anywhere north of the hill country towards Killeen and Hamilton, that's where it's pretty active and pretty detrimental when it's coming to the drought conditions. South of Stephenville, you can see more rain. So if you have any friends or family in this area, this again is north of the hill country. This is towards kind of Abilene, Dallas, and Fort Worth. This will make it towards I-35, towards Waco, well removed from us. But again, it's really just north and central Texas that's cashing in on more of this activity at this hour. It's just kind of how it's playing out tonight. And some rain out near the Gulf that might be clutter. That doesn't look like rain. That looks more like the windmills out across the coast. It's mostly up north and a few storms out west in northern Mexico that we're tracking. But again, San Antonio and most of the metro is going to remain quiet tonight. All right, identification radar the next 24 hours. Max, my radar. I'm not too sure what that means, Max. Sometimes the radar is under maintenance. That might be it, but I'm not entirely too sure about that. The Weather Service kind of handles the maintenance when it comes to radar. If it's down for 24 hours or longer, sometimes that does happen. I think that was a couple of weeks ago where some of the radars around south central Texas were down for a little bit. Now they're up and operational, but yeah, not too sure about that. Larry, stay cool in SA and areas. I got friends out that way watching for from West Columbia, South Carolina. It's been cooler than it could be here, but I'm afraid July and especially August going to bring the heat here bad. Yeah, I mean, anywhere, obviously between here, Florida, the Carolinas, I mean, the heat really cranks in, especially in the next coming months. So San Antonio and most of Texas really feeling it at this point because we're underneath the heat dome. But that obviously could change in the next coming months, right? It just depends on where that heat dome moves over, and that dictates more about temperatures in the future. All right, current temperatures across the area. 94 in San Antonio, it's really hot. 89 at Bandera, 93 at Hondo. We have nearly 100 in Castroville, Devine, and Moore. Pleasanton at that as well at 97. 94 at Stockdale. It's still 105 between Pearsall, Cotulla, Carrizo Springs, and I-35. I need to fix the Carrizo Springs. We're not getting any data from there. Not too sure what's happening with the sensor out in Carrizo Springs. But if you notice the gradient, the colored temperature, the color you're seeing between Cotulla, Pearsall, and Carrizo Springs, it's that pink color. And that's usually indicative of temperatures above 100 to 102 to 103, if not, again, 105 in Cotulla and Pearsall, so it's very hot. Now, there is rain out west, which may be the reason why Rock Springs and maybe Del Rio, I mean, we saw radar, it wasn't really moving into Del Rio, why they're seeing a little bit of a drop in temperatures. We'll check radar in just a moment. But first, you can see, feels like temperatures in San Antonio, it's still 104, 114 in Pleasanton, 109 down I-35, 110 in Gonzales and out near LaGrange and Gonzales. It's very hot. And again, still a little bit of haze outside because of some agricultural burning in Mexico. Some of that haze is making it into our atmosphere, which is why you're not seeing a totally blue sky. It's kind of been the theme last several days. It's been hazy conditions, poor air quality, but still hot and excessively humid. As a matter of fact, it's not until about 10:30, 11 o'clock we slip into the 80s. But remember, the humidity is so high, it's still going to feel like the 90s likely overnight. So that's how hot and humid it is here in the area. Now, we have some potential relief, but I don't think San Antonio gets any action from this next system. It's just really, again, these daytime thunderstorms that get going. And you'll see by about 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, residual cloud cover, thunderstorms, some lingering showers do form across Eagle Pass, Del Rio, Carrizo Springs, but none of them really make it anywhere near San Antonio. We stay pretty dry in our area tomorrow morning. Upper 80s, temperatures are going to climb fast. South and southeast winds. It'll be a little breezy tomorrow. I think that'll be our saving grace, our solace tomorrow, just because with temperatures in the triple digits, winds moving a little bit more, that'll help a little bit, not a lot, because this is very hot temperatures. Now, keep in mind today we hit about 95, 96. We'll have to look at the official numbers, but tomorrow we're expected to see a little kind of fluctuation in humidity, and that may raise our air temperature up to 103 to 104 tomorrow. So this is just a forecast model. It's been saying this every day where we climb into the triple digits, but most days we've just been in the 90s. The other day we hit 100 for the first time. That was 101 back on, I think it was Friday, where we hit the heat index of 115, which was our highest heat index in a long time. But anyway, tomorrow it's going to be hot. About 103 to 104 is what we're forecasting. Heat index probably on the order of 105 to 110. Depending on how fast we reach that 103 to 104 reading, that may lead to a slight decrease in humidity, because that's kind of how it works. For the air temperature to rise higher, the humidity has to drop a little bit more. It's kind of a balancing act. Regardless, it's going to be hot tomorrow. Triple digits of the forecast, and not much changes. As a matter of fact, through tomorrow, through Monday, through Tuesday and Wednesday, this ridge is pretty much in control of the south, right? I mean, anywhere from New Mexico, northern Mexico, Texas, the Central Plains, we're all underneath the grip of this high pressure cooker that just cooks us, and it leads to things like this, right? A lot of heat. So heat index every single day on the order of 100 to 110, which is why we're kind of in that excessive heat warning, heat advisory criteria for the next couple days. The Weather Service already issued one for tomorrow and likely for Monday. I think they already issued one for Monday and likely one for Tuesday and Wednesday. It's not until next Thursday and Friday things start to trend down. But look at this. The coolest temperature I have on the 7-day for afternoon highs is 100 degrees. That's how you know when you're in June. Now, more importantly, one last thing, the first day of summer, because we're not even in summer yet, guys. We're still in spring, technically, astronomical spring. Astronomical summer begins June 21st in the northern hemisphere. So, in other words, summer starts on Wednesday, and will be summer-like, but the fact that we're already hitting these kind of numbers before summer starts, you know, it's just how it is sometimes here in San Antonio. But that's just how it be sometimes, how it be. Futurecast is showing a line of storms that will move into SA around 10:30, 11 o'clock. Okay, Grace, let me double check that. So we were checking our high-resolution Futurecast earlier, probably like 2 or 3 minutes ago, and it does, so this is just one model. We'll look at other models, but I do think by and large, most of these storms that try to form out west will stay out west. So near Del Rio, Eagle Pass, Uvalde, Carrizo Springs, probably the best shot at rain tonight through tomorrow morning. But you'll notice it does not make it into San Antonio. Now, some forecast guidance, we'll rewind this back to tonight, Just does not, some suggest otherwise. So let's see, let's go to the IBM here, and that's the IBM. So this is another high resolution model. Let's see. All right, so this is another forecast model. Now, the reason why I'm not leaning towards this model is because it's not initializing well. Because the radar as it stands right now, which I'll just show you right now, doesn't show those storms out west. What you're seeing right now over Uvalde, those are not even there. And you'll see as I turn on the current radar, that's how you know if a model is doing well, if it's initializing, if it's taking into account what the atmosphere looks like right now. So you can see on radar, it's clear, it's just hot, it's humid, but there are no storms out near Uvalde, out near Del Rio, or out near Rock Springs. It is quiet out there. Now, as I transition from radar to this forecast model, you can see it's just not initializing well. It's not picking up on what current conditions are right now, which is why I don't lean towards the confidence of this forecast model. Now, with that being said, it is saying some rain tries to develop between 8 p.m. and 10 p.m. at night, and it crosses over I-35. So, Grace, that's probably what the one you're looking at, or at least one of the ones, because there are several other high-resolution and medium-range forecast models. But again, the thing is, it's taking into account storms out west that are already there, but they're not there on radar. So you can see this is now on Futurecast on a forecast model, but notice on radar as of 8:24 at night, there are no storms out there. There are a few showers out near Sonora and especially near Brady, Brownwood, and near Big Lake, but there's nothing out near Rock Springs or Del Rio, which is what that forecast model is suggesting right here, right there. So again, I'm not leaning towards this model. I'm not too confident on saying there's going to be a line of storms moving in just because there's nothing out there right now. If this was out there, this would verify and this would give us a better idea of what would be happening in the next couple hours. But I just don't see it happening as temperatures cool down in the next couple hours. So that's one forecast model. Let's take a look at another one. So this is the NAM. This is a medium range forecast model. You'll see it's picking up on some rain up north, and it has some drifting farther southeast towards LaGrange tonight and through tomorrow morning, and then maybe a few showers pre-dawn tomorrow near Del Rio, Eagle Pass, Uvalde. But nothing through tomorrow morning. It's just clear and hot tomorrow. So the only high-resolution forecast model that's depicting some storms overnight is the IBM, but it's just not initializing well. I would say the best model that's handling what's out there at the moment is probably this one right here. This is the HRR, or the HRRR High Resolution Forecast Model. And I say that because it's saying there are a few showers and a few thunderstorms west of Del Rio and in northern Mexico. And what are we seeing right now? A few showers and a few thunderstorms west of Del Rio and in northern Mexico. So while it's not exact, it's not initializing perfectly, it is showing some activity out west and not so much in our local viewing area. So as I fast forward, it'll say a few showers, maybe an isolated storm near Del Rio, Eagle Pass, Carrizo Springs through tonight. Backs off in the overnight, maybe a lingering shower out west through 4 and 5 a.m. Otherwise, it is clear tomorrow and just downright hot, with maybe another shower chance out west tomorrow night, same time, 6, 7, 8, 9 p.m. tomorrow night. So again, that's just kind of going over the difference between forecast models and kind of how we look at them, how we differentiate them, if they're initializing well, if they're doing a good job at handling what's out there at the moment. So again, there may be a stray shower, stray thunderstorm out west overnight and this evening, but most of it should remain out west with less and less activity trying to make its way to San Antonio. I do think by and large the metro and the San Antonio region stays just dry and hot tonight. But we'll keep an eye on radar, see if anything develops by about 9 and 10 p.m. We'll keep an eye on it. That's it for weather. Let's see. I am on my profile. So that's current temperatures, almost 8:30 tonight. Tomorrow's forecast, it's going to be downright hot. Morning clouds, afternoon sun, still some haze out there because of lowered air quality, some ozone, and some of the residual and lingering haze and smoke from southern Mexico transporting its way towards Texas. So that's why you see that haze in the sky. It's never that blue color we're used to seeing. It's just less, it's just more haze in the sky. That's what's leading to lower air quality and less sun, if you will. But still, it's going to be clear tomorrow. 104, 105 on Tuesday. Heat index upwards of 110 to 112 at times. It's going to be very, very hot. Drink plenty of water, guys. Can't stress that enough. Drink extra water. Always have a bottle of water with you, especially if you're going to the park tomorrow. If you're spending any amount of time outside tomorrow, it is going to be very hot. Find shade, take breaks, of course drink water. I mean, that's the number one tip, right? And again, just be careful because this is not normal heat. Obviously, it's almost summertime. Again, summer starts on Wednesday officially. And as Texans, we are kind of used to this kind of heat, but it's not normal. And when I say that, let me show you. So if you look in the upper right-hand corner, averages in the morning 73 and average in the afternoon this time of year is 93. Instead, we're hitting 104 tomorrow and 105 on Tuesday. So that's a full 10 to 12 degrees above average. This is considered a heat wave, and it's not trending down until late next weekend. And the coolest temperature I have on the 7-day, guys, is 100 degrees in regarding afternoon highs. So that's just how it is this time of day, time of year. All right, guys, we'll leave it on the forecast for a little bit longer. Again, Grace, yeah, we're watching storms out north. Those should remain north of Austin, and if not in the Austin area tonight. And then in San Antonio, we're watching the ones out west, but those should primarily stay in Del Rio, Eagle Pass, in our western counties. And it doesn't look like we're going to see anything here in the city. We'll watch radar closely, but it doesn't look like what's going to be getting anywhere near us anytime soon. All right, guys, stay cool, drink plenty of water, be safe, and this heat is not going anywhere. It's not until next weekend it cools down, but you can't even call it that because it's still 100 degrees by Friday and Saturday. Stay safe and stay cool, guys. Be safe out there.